Hi. Uh, Thank you for tuning into the Bloom Effect on NEATALK Network. I'm Nia, and welcome. Tonight on the Bloom Effect, I'm sitting down with Star. And this conversation is called When a Little Girl Becomes the Labels. Star, her labels are considered as lesbian, she's been heartbroken, like all these labels. But who was she before she became these labels? And tonight I want to understand what happened, that little girl and woman sitting that I'm sorry, let me repeat this. I want to understand what happened between that little girl and that woman sitting here today. What shaped her, what hurt her, what she learned, and ultimately what she grew from it all. So I want to welcome Star. Star, welcome to the Bloom Effect. I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on the Bloom Effect. My name is Star. I'm from Southeast Queens. I am 37 years old. I'm a serial entrepreneur as well as admin in the educational system for the New York City Department of Education.
Okay.
I'm like the mayor of Queens, and that's me in a
Hold
nutshell.
on. What does this mayor of Queens mean? What does that mean, girl?
I'm the
Literally?
connector.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
knows me, right? You need something, I'm the
Okay.
person you call. You need to
Okay.
contact somebody, I'm the person you call. So, when they say mayor, that's why, because everybody knows me and I'm always doing something in our community.
I love
So that's
it.
really what it is.
I love it. So, how did you end up where you are today? What transpired you to be the mayor of Queens?
I always been outside, right? But I've been outside with intentions, right? From a little girl.
Okay.
Um, Community service and activism and youth advocacy has been a big thing for me. Always have and always will be. Um,
Why?
because I seen so much as a young child.
Okay.
I seen so much. I experienced so much. Um, and it just helped shape and mold me, right? Oftentimes when people experience certain things, it takes on a negative impact on them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my experiences gave me a positive impact, right? Where I
Okay.
wanted to do better, I wanted to have better, and I wanted people to be able to experience better, right? And if I had the means and resources to make that happen, then I made it happen.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, how was it growing up in Queens? Because you're from Queens, right?
Yes.
So how was it growing up? Did you grow up in a single parent home, or was it your father and your mother? Do you have siblings? How was it back then in Queens? Because what, that was like the 90s or the 80s or something like that. Like, what
The
was?
late 80s. I'm an 80s baby, 89 and
Okay.
fine. Um,
So do you remember, do you feel like you remember the 90s, or you remember the 2000s,
I
or a
remember
mixture?
everything. I
Okay.
remember everything,
So tell
literally.
me, what do you remember most about growing up? How was it?
I was raised by my grandparents, my maternal parents, who
Mm-hmm.
are God fearing leaders in the church.
Mm.
Um, but we had a balance, right? My grandparents believed in, you serve God first, but you also live life, right? We traveled the world. We went to amusement parks. We shopped till we dropped, had on the finest, clothes and different things like that. I wasn't born in poverty, but I had experiences, right? So I would say my childhood was great. Two parent household. My grandparents, they adopted a lot of kids in their time. I think 21 kids in their time. They had three biological, my dad, my uncle, and my aunt. And then they
Mm-hmm.
legally adopted the rest of them because they believed that kids should have a home where there's love. right?
Mm.
Nurturing, right? Structure and discipline, right? And hope.
Okay. Okay.
So that's
So
what, that was their thing.
so how was it with your what's the where's your parents through all of this? You being raised by your grandmother.
And so my dad was a Rolling Stone, right?
Okay.
And my mother was a young buck. So
Ah.
my dad
How
had
what was
his
the
first
age
kid.
difference? What was the age difference between your mother and your father?
My dad had his first kid at 13.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother, I think she has him by 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, she was an old head. He was
Okay.
um he was a big drug dealer in Southeast Queens.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people know my dad, but my whole thing was never to be a shadow in his image,
Okay.
right? And to change that narrative. I have 8 siblings. Um, so
How many from your mother?
me, just me.
Oh. So how is the relationship with you and your mother? Is she still alive?
She alive. She outside. She around here somewhere. Um,
Okay.
my grandparents raised me, right? My mom was living her best life, going to college, going to school. She was a teacher in the educational system. She she did her big one. She became a principal. Now she consults school leaders around New York
Mm.
City and other states. Um, so me and my mother came together during the pandemic. She had a bad car accident, and I had to, go be of support to her during this time. And we were both being adults, and I was raised different from how my mother was raised. It was a lot of toxicity
How were you
between
raised
us.
different? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Before I let you go faster, how were you raised different from your mother if you were raised by her parents? Or was this your father
No,
parents?
paternal parents. I'm sorry, paternal. My father parents.
Okay. Okay.
My
Okay.
father parents. Sorry,
Okay.
raised
Okay.
me.
Okay.
My mother
Sorry.
parents, not at all.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
my father parents was God fearing church,
Wow.
right? My
Uh-huh.
mom, she had some church, but she wasn't raised in the church, and she was taught different values and standards than I was taught. So, as two grown women living with each other and experiencing her values and her standards and looking at my values and my standards, it was like, whoa, whoa,
Mm.
not the road that I've been going down my entire life. This is
Mm.
different. Why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I'm a kid that been in therapy since I was 11 years old.
Wait.
So, I've been
Why?
doing my work because I seen a
Why?
lot. Because I
Why were
seen a
you
lot.
so tell me, you were raised by your grandparents, these God fearing grandparents,
Hmm.
holier than thou. And so you're feeling protected to some degree, right? So you're not being
Hmm.
exposed to normal things, right? So
No, we was
what
exposed to normal things.
okay, okay. So what was it like being raised in your grandparents' home?
It was a time, grandma's house was the house everybody wanted to come to, right?
Oh,
Um, my grandma worked that night. She was a nurse. So,
okay.
it's a bunch of teenagers and kids in the house with my granddad. My granddad is 101 years old and my grandma's 89 to date. And they still
Okay.
kicking and living. So,
Wow.
at that age, he's like 75 or something. So he's already
Okay.
old. He's in the bed. He's living his best life. And my grandma has these kids they done adopted that has now infiltrated my world, right? And my thing is, I
Okay.
love people, right? I think I loved people a little bit too much to a default. Um,
Mm.
so I experienced, although being raised in a God fearing home, I experienced molestation, right? And sexual abuse, right? And so that's what
By a
say
family member, somebody within
one of the
this.
foster kids. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
when I say I experienced things, I did, but I had experiences, but I didn't have a bad life, right? And I think
Okay.
oftentimes people get those things, they put them together, but that's not really, how that should be, because my life was amazing. I traveled the world. I had the best of everything. I did whatever I wanted to do, whether it was performing arts, sing, gymnastics, whatever it was, I did it, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
no, you can't do this, you just got to serve God. No, live your life and
Mm.
serve God too, but put God first.
Mm-hmm. So when you were going through this um molestation, and I don't want to make it sound super harsh or anything. So, and I always say in this
Mm-mm.
space, let's
We real
keep it
talk, no
open.
chaser.
Okay, okay. Because sometimes you gotta, this is a place where there's it's no judgment. Okay. Um. So when you were being molested, how old were you?
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, from
Okay.
like 11 to 16.
Okay. But during this time while you're being molested, you are in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you talking to your therapist about? Because, and I'm asking this because, you know, it has to be a way for people to actually, like when you get a therapist, this is what you're supposed to talk. Is this what you're supposed to talk about when you get a therapist, or am I
Well,
tripping?
you talk about everything, right? Because, like I told you, my dad was a big drug dealer during this time, and he was in
Uh
jail,
huh.
right? And out of all of my dad's kids, I was the only one from a little girl. I'm 37. My dad spent, I would say, and counting, 33 years of my 37 years behind bars. And I was the
Okay.
only one that would get on cold vans and buses to have to go upstate into all these different places to come see him because I was his star, right? And
Aw.
so those experiences, and those are things I spoke to the counselor about because I didn't understand, like, why my other siblings are not going. Why is it just me? Like, so it's so
Okay.
many different things. And during molestation, when your perp tells you don't, you
Yeah.
better not say nothing and things like that, you become mute,
So
right?
did
And
it
they
be so did it eventually become normal to you?
it didn't become normal to me because I knew it wasn't right.
Okay. Okay. So
I
during this
knew this shouldn't
time,
be happening.
this is happening to you. You're in the house with your grandmother. Your mother is not out in the streets, but out making a life of her own, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And your father is in prison. So, do
Mhm.
you feel safe around these godly fearing grandparents?
My grandparents, absolutely, right? Because this was happening while they were asleep. It's not like it happened while they were up. My grandma's at work. My
So
grandfather's in the
you
bed.
so you still felt safe even though this is the home, cuz it was inside, it wasn't in the same home?
Mhm.
Wow. And you didn't feel comfortable to tell your grandparents?
No, I was told to be quiet
Wow. Wow.
until, after going to therapy, right? Because what made me have to go to therapy is that I was a crash out in school. Middle school, 7th grade, I
Okay.
was a crash out. And
Okay.
everybody like, this ain't Star. Like, this is not the happy, bubbly, kid we know. Like,
So
what?
what do
You
you think sparked you
crazy
to
doing
start
all of this?
So what do you think that sparked you to start crashing out?
I seen it happening to other people around me.
Seeing what happening?
Them getting molested,
Oh. In the same
right? And
home
it's not,
or friends at
yeah,
school?
no, in the same home, but that's their
Okay.
story. That's not my story. I
Okay.
just knew it wasn't right and it didn't feel right to me. And
Okay.
I needed to find trust in somebody I can have this conversation with. And
Oh.
so when I got signed up for therapy, that's when I started. talking to my counselor about just everything I experienced as a little girl growing up, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. Because I don't believe in just sitting down and speaking on everything negative that has happened,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, 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 yeah,
there's good too, right?
yeah.
And so oftentimes it's sometimes because of the good things that are happening to you that the bad things happen, right? And you get to the
Huh.
root of the why of certain things.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I just felt like therapy is essential for
So
everybody.
when
I
did
don't
you start therapy as an adult?
I continued through therapy. I never stopped therapy because I felt like it was necessary for me.
So you've been going to therapy from 11 to 37?
Mhm.
Damn.
And
That's
that's
a
how I
long
learned.
time. And you
I know, and
still
that's why
going?
I have the patience. That's why I have the patience of Job. That's why my tolerance levels are as high as they are, because I have an understanding of people
So
and why.
do you think that therapy is a I'm healed thing or I'm constantly healing type thing?
Therapy is a constantly I'm healing. Like I told you, in my adulthood, when I had to move in with my mother, that's a completely different uh type of healing that had to take place. There's trauma that took place during those 4 years with her that I'm like, what the hell?
So why do you think okay, I gotta back up. So you say you was wilding out when you were
Younger.
in middle school, and
Mm-hmm.
how did that all change? When did you start turning around?
8th grade.
Okay. And what
When you find
changed?
people that believe in you, right? Because I was just
Okay.
starting middle school, and I say middle school is the years of anybody's life that changes the game for them, because middle school is where you start to be molded and
Mm-hmm.
groomed, and you start to understand your values and your standards and things like that. So it's middle
Okay.
school. Middle
Okay.
school will always hold a special place in my heart, because middle school is where I flipped the script.
Okay. So did you end up having a lot of friends in school?
Oh
Like
yeah, I was very
how are you?
popular.
Okay. So that's
I was
so
class
that's
president.
when okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, stop.
like
So
therapy
even
wasn't a
despite
crutch, it's
so
a tool.
even okay, so even despite see, this is what the Bloom effect is about. It's about humanity unfolding, because this is the message here. Like, this is a message here that people need to pick up on, because I've been thinking lately, a couple of like for the last couple of days, Star, about how you have all these healing gurus on social media, and it's like, well, when are y'all gonna ever be healed? Like, I know, it's a constant work on yourself, but it's like, are we gonna stay in the wallow of the
Some
sadness?
people use that as a cliche and as a crutch. I'm healing, I'm healing, I'm healing. How do you
Right.
measure if you're healed? The only way you
Okay.
can measure if you're really healed is to experience something in parallel to what you should be
Mm.
healed from, and how
Mm.
you
The
react to it.
testing. The testing.
Yeah. So my thing is this,
Okay.
when we talk about the labels, right? Like I tell people all the time, my labels describe pieces of my life, but they
Okay.
do not define the totality of who I am, because
Ah.
I'm too big as a person
Okay.
to be defined by people labels. Labels is
Okay.
just episodes, right? I look at it because I went to Full Sail University. I have my BA in entertainment business. I am an executive producer and movie writer
Hold
and things
on.
like that,
Hold
right?
on. Hold on. Uh-uh. It's T when you okay. Because I don't like that humble shit up in here. I tell people all the time. uh-uh. You the shit and it's okay to be that. I want to hear it.
Period.
You know, because when I seen the name Star come across my desk, I said, "Oh, that's the one. That's look. I'm the mayor. I'm the, you know, it ain't hard to spot a star from afar away. So I commend
Period.
you,
We
girl.
shine too
And
bright.
so what I want to talk about is, people stay wallowing in the sorrow and they keep wanting to repeat the things that has happened to them, and it keeps you stuck. And this is a true definition of what you should be, is what Star is explaining. And I just want to commend you for that, for remaining to stay positive through everything that you've been through, because that is not easy. But I wonder, where does it come from? Is it the way you were raised?
Yeah, to
Or
have
is it just
resilience.
in you?
It's in me. It's in my bloodline. My grandma name is Hercules. I ain't got no choice but to be strong, right?
Listen.
So I embody that. It's in my bloodline, right? But it's also the resilience that reside in me, right? It's also the compassion that I have for people and the empathy I have for people that, exudes through me. I can't help it. I can't be mean. Right? I know people
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I mean, that's just who I am, and everybody, nah, that ain't me. I don't go around tooting the horn for being mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mean don't get you kudos,
Mm-hmm.
right? But how you treat people, right? Because
So
karma,
okay, so I
she
hear
come to
you,
visit.
but okay, so I hear you. But what did you experience to give you a wake up call to be this reflection? Did
Life
you?
itself. It's just
Okay,
life itself.
okay.
Experience as you
Give me an
grow, right?
example.
Because
Give me.
everything
Cause
is not
sometimes,
based off of.
sometimes it takes a true wake
I
up
didn't
call.
have I didn't have one of those. I just had
Ah,
life experiences. Right? Like I
okay,
said, I've been in therapy since I was 11. So I
okay,
always had a resource since 11 years old that I can always go back to.
okay,
Right? There's nothing that changed. In 2017, I was in a major car accident that left me paralyzed, right? But I'm
okay.
not paralyzed no more. It's temporary paralysis. But that's not the turning point that changed the trajectory of my life. I just knew I wanted better for myself because I seen so much that I don't want to be.
Huh. So when you said earlier, you had said there's things that happen, and I can't quote you exactly, but I think we were talking about how when things happen, it's like a test. We were talking about
Mm-hmm.
test. So I understand that you're saying, like, this is always, I'm always, but you have tests for a reason, and tests are there to uh
See if you gonna pass. See
right,
if you're gonna use the tools that you were given.
right,
Right?
right,
There's many. I
right.
get tested every day, like if I'm gonna crash out on people or not. Right? I really was a crash out. Like you looked at me the wrong way, I popped on you. You said something crazy,
How
you
long did
tasted
crash
your
out
teeth.
how long did crash out era last?
My junior high school years. That's why I said junior high school will always play a major role for me. It's where I built my own personal village of women that can gird me up, cover me, and protect me, that can pour into me, mentor
Okay,
me,
okay,
because my family is majority men, male dominated,
okay.
right?
Mm.
And my grandfather and my godfather, my father, my brothers, they don't play about me, right?
Okay,
And my whole thing is I'm big on keeping the peace and protecting people.
okay.
You may have hurt me, but I'm going to protect you still.
Mm. Okay. Do you think that you ever get bit in the butt for that philosophy?
Mm,
You know how you can love too much and be heartbroken because you love so much? Because, I mean, you do have heartbreak, broken Heartbreak as a
Yeah, so
label,
my thing is when I love hard, right?
obviously.
And I know that I am one in a million. There's
Okay.
not another star. There's not
Okay.
another person walking this earth with my heart. There's not another person walking this earth that can give the love that I give without
Uh,
conditions.
why you
Right?
loving so hard?
Is how I was raised. My grandparent told us to love people in spite of.
Uh, so tell me about this heartbreak.
Your first heartbreak come from your parents, right? I know my parents was young, but I expected so much more from them, right? Because when you're young, you have Moesha, you have In the House, you have The Cosby Show, you have A Different World, you have All in the Family, you have all of these shows that depict black families and parents taking care of their families.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, these two youngins can do adult things, but
Mm-hmm.
can't take care of their kids.
Mm.
And when my father did get home, he took up with another woman,
Mm.
and I seen him step up more for her and her kids than he did for his
Mm.
own.
Papa was a rose. You said it.
Said it right, and my adult time with my mom, as in for me, it was this should be sacred time for us, right? To get to know
Mm-hmm.
each other as grown women.
And what age did you end up connecting with your mother?
The pandemic. So what's
What?
that,
How
32,
old?
33,
Okay.
32,
Okay.
33, 34?
Okay. And
I
what was
think no,
that like?
33,
On what
34, 34.
circumstances? How did that
Because she got into
entanglement?
an accident.
Okay.
She got into a car accident.
Okay. And so you went to take care of her?
Yeah. Uprooted my life. I was in the transition. We were selling
What
our
you
childhood
mean
home.
uprooted?
So my grandparents were all in the transition of selling our childhood home, the home I was raised in with my
Okay.
grandparents.
Okay.
So I was getting ready to get my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had the accident. And then she was like, oh, you can stay here with me. And it was my god sister there as well. And, be here, until you really decide what you want to do. I'm like, all right, okay, no problem. I got to take help you anyway. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have listened to my inner gut, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
my mother had these ways about her where she would get mad at me and fall off the face of the earth
Mm-hmm.
for years. Long times, long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing was, okay, we're gonna live together. We're gonna do this. This should be sacred time for us to really get to know each other, build, bond, and thrive, right? And
Mm-hmm.
me and my mom, we was thick as thieves. We was like best friends. But then when I started seeing how she lived, it kind of contradicted how I was raised and how I lived.
Okay.
And so it would
You
be
were you
like,
you were surprised?
yes, very surprised.
Mm.
My mom, I call her the great mask bearer because she knows how to put on masks, and she's a wordsmith, so she knows how to play on words and different things like that. So to now be in a setting where I get to see you in full face front,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like completely total shocking for me in some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that I experienced. I'm not gonna, tell my mother's business,
Mm-hmm.
but some of it was just like and I that's it's certain things where we would clash and bump
Mm.
heads, right?
Do you
And then
think that maybe you were
a
you
reflection.
hurt? Were you hurt about her not being around before you even got with her?
No, my hurt with
Honestly.
her came. No, honestly, no. I was healed from that. My thing, I
No,
don't hold
hold on, hold on,
stuff.
hold on,
I
hold
don't
on.
have
I
the
gotta.
capacity to hold.
Okay, but I'm not saying that if you healed from it. I'm asking you, were you at some point hurt
No,
by?
I didn't hold resentment for her for that. I came to terms with that. Her and my dad was young. I didn't expect a 13-year-old or a 16
But
year old,
when did you
17
come to the
year old
realization of that?
when I
That
was
you're
going through
not.
therapy.
At what
Like
point?
I've
Like at
always had the
11?
mindset of an adult because I was always around adults. So my thinking
So
wasn't
do
the
you think
average
that
11-year-old thinking and stuff.
so do you think that when you are a child, like just now, just because, do you feel like that your childhood, like you didn't get to experience a childhood, do you feel like you were robbed of a childhood?
No, because my grandparents gave me the best childhood that they can give me. That has nothing to my heartbreak has nothing to do with my childhood. My
Okay.
heartbreak has to do with the adult years I spent with my mother and what I experienced while living with her.
Okay.
But I didn't
So
have resentment because she didn't do what she couldn't do
why were
when
you
I was a
so hurt
kid
this time?
because of what I experienced living with her during this time that I didn't know. So it was like culture shock.
Was it her actions and how she was, or is it something that she did to you?
Things she did to me and how she was.
Okay. Okay. So you were kind of like, how dare you, or did you expect that, or you expected it but you still were let down?
I didn't expect it because I didn't know it because I didn't live with her. So I
Okay.
didn't know how she lived. So
Okay.
everything was new to me.
Okay. Okay. So what's the relationship like now?
We good. Like I speak to my mother like every other day or every day, depending if she gets on my nerve or not. My mother got her own stuff she has to work through.
Uh-huh.
It's not my job to work through those things for her.
So do you
Like
still
we,
love her? Do you still love
yeah, I
her
still
the
love my
same way?
mama.
The same way, even though she's the one who you've experienced the heartbreak with.
I love my mother in a different capacity,
Okay.
right? You just love people where they're at, right? Not for where
Okay.
you want them to be.
Okay. Okay. When
Yeah.
I hear that, I always say that that's when love comes with conditions, and I like to say you love people with caution. And sometimes you have to love people with caution, because you really don't want to leave too much room for them to break your heart. So I can hear you typing back there. so I get what you so I get what you're saying, about your mother, but I don't know. I still just feel like that experiencing a heartbreak, how do you come out of it, especially when it's something so like traumatic, like a parent?
You got to go through your process. You got to go through your healing process, right? You
Mm-hmm.
got to figure out why you heartbroken, right? Why you
Mm-hmm.
so heartbroken, right? Like if the situation was a different scenario, would you be this heartbroken? Right? You really just
Mm-hmm.
got to go through it, right? Feel it. I tell anybody, go through your emotions, feel them, sit with them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
have your time. That's just like
Mm-hmm.
grief. I took a lot of losses in death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my entire life. Folks close to me. My
Mm-hmm.
closest confidants in everything. My first degree is mortuary for a reason. So, um, you just got to go through your processes, right? Of why.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreak is inevitable. Everybody's going to
Mm-hmm.
experience heartbreak in their lives, whether it's through a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, from your parents, from loved ones, siblings, whoever. But the thing is, are you going to remain broken or are you
Mm-hmm.
going to become back whole, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
my whole thing is my favorite insect, whatever we want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
is a butterfly, right? And one
Mm.
motto I live is the metamorphosis of change. You gotta go through something to become who you're meant to be. And in order for a butterfly
Mm.
to become a butterfly, it has to go through some phases. And my thing
Mm-hmm.
is,
Mm-hmm.
none
Mm-hmm.
of these experiences were the finished version of who I am. They were just a part
Mm.
of my becoming. And that's why one of my
Mm.
businesses is called the Become Agency, because
Okay.
we have to go through a process.
Okay.
And I've been through several processes these 37 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
To get
Mm.
here into this world as a baby was a process for me because I was a preemie. I should have
Mm.
been born in April and I was born in January.
Mm.
Right? So
Wow.
I've been a fighter. I came into this world a fighter.
Okay.
I'm built
Okay.
different. I'm
Okay.
built different.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much because, just to remain so confident, even though going through so much is so important. Like, that's the part that I try to really express to people here on the Bloom Effect, because there's so many people out there just broken and don't even have a desire or even know how to not be broken, you know? So these are
Hmm.
tools that people really need. Like, I mean, I don't even have anything to say. Like, that was, I mean, because it's just the bottom line, like we all going through
Hmm.
stuff, but it's like, come on now, get it together. Like, understand your emotions, push through it, and let's move on. Because there's a lot of people out here stuck. You know what I mean? This is why this is important to you to share this message, because know.
Yes, because when people be like, who is Star Asia today, right? Because everybody knows the little girl Star Asia, the dancer, the singer, everybody know
Mm-hmm.
that. And I'm just like, yo, I'm the woman who had to learn that I can honor every version of myself without being imprisoned by any of them, right? And that
Mm.
I can honor the little girl, the woman who loved deeply, and the woman who experienced heartbreak, the daughter, the entrepreneur, the advocate, and the woman I'm still becoming. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still transforming. And every version taught me something about myself. I'm not ashamed of my caterpillar season
Mm.
because it helped me create my wings. And that's why I can fly now because
Mm.
I went through my processes.
Okay. Okay.
Like, who wants to be grown? You see so many adults out here bitter and angry because they're holding on to stuff from their childhood and their past. Let that stuff go.
Mm.
It is
I
dead
love
weight.
it.
Let it
I love
go.
it. I love it. I love it so much. So, what have you so with all this positivity, are you how's your love life? I mean, how's that department?
I'm single and mingling. Um,
What
my
was
thing
so your
is,
last relationship, what was that like? Or you know what, not even your last relationship, your all of your relationships collectively, because you've had plenty, right? Or are
nah, I
you
ain't gonna say plenty. Hold on.
okay?
Whoa.
Not plenty, not plenty. I don't just want to just out just call oh, I'm sorry.
No, 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 not I. I
About
had a
how
few, and I would
oh,
say that
okay.
my
Okay.
relationship, every relationship has its ups and downs, right? But
I don't
my
know.
thing
You
is,
tell me. You tell me.
yes,
I don't
every
know.
relationship, my grandparents been married 65 years. Every relationship, I done seen it all. Marriage is a
Okay.
big thing in my
Okay.
circle.
Have you ever been
So,
married?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't
oh,
marry to get
okay.
divorced. When I
Okay.
marry, it's for a lifetime.
Okay.
Um, so my thing is, every relationship has its ups and downs, right?
Mhm.
And you get to your, this is it. Like, all right, we don't outgrow each other. This not for us.
Mm.
Like,
But see, this is
and
where
you
this is.
have to be okay with that, right? And go through that
No,
process
no, no,
too.
no, no, no.
Yes, you do.
Because
Yes, you
this is
do.
okay. You grew up straight Christian, or Christian, or am I assuming? What were y'all? Muslim?
Christian gangster, Pentecostal. No, my dad's Muslim. That's why my name is Star Asia.
Okay.
Christian Pentecostal,
Oh, well,
right?
tell me a little bit
But we
about that
had
religion. So,
balance.
tell
But we had
nah.
balance.
What's the
No, we
Ten
did. Because
Commandments?
the thing is this.
What
There was people in the church that labeled me because I didn't act like everybody else
you
around me.
mean they labeled you
So
the
we
bad
had,
girl?
yeah, you know how they call it, PK kids are fast, right? The
What's
fast girls,
PK?
right?
What's PK?
Preachers kids.
So you was hot in the church?
No, I'm saying because I wasn't like them,
Uh huh.
I always got labeled. I was labeled a lesbian before I even knew what a lesbian was. Let's just be honest.
Skirt. Hold up. You going too fast. You need to slow down. Now what now?
So I remember one Sunday, I had a best
The girl, then
friend.
you just lost me. You didn't lose me, but it was too many different good angles to go at right there because like, girl, how you gonna put all that on me real
hmm
quick? You
And I dropped it
said
like it was hot.
I told you a few. You talk plenty. You talk a few. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Hold on. This is all I want to say because you sound like a person that want their cake and eat it too. But I ain't even gonna go there yet. I'm gonna let you just start from here,
What's
from like when you was
what's
in the
one their
church.
cake and eat it too? Because
I
one thing about me, I am a one person's person.
okay.
I don't double dip.
Well, what I say,
If
I
I'm
don't
in a
mean that.
committed relationship, I'm in a committed relationship with that one person. If
What
I'm
I
talking
mean
to you,
by
I'm talking to you.
the commitment.
Mm-mm.
The commitment. Do you got commitment problems? But I'm no
No.
no, I'm not starting there with you yet. I wanna go back to dropping it like it's hot in the church. And they thought you
Oh
was
yeah. There's a stigma around preachers' kids across the board. There's a stigma. Oh, the boys are hoes and musicians, the girls are hoes and sleeping with everybody. But that never was
what?
me.
So you
That
was
never
really in
was
the church
me.
every Sunday?
Yeah, we went to church every Sunday until you got 18 years old and you decide if you want to go to church or not. You make
What
that
the
decision
fuck was
yourself. But as
that
long as you're a
like?
minor, well, as long as you're a minor, you gotta do what your parents say do. You
What
don't
was
pick
that
and choose. You don't run
like?
the household. What do you mean? What was that like? Going to church
Girl, I mean every Sunday? Enlighten us. I don't know.
as a
Tell me.
kid? As a
Yeah.
kid, yeah, you go to church every Sunday. My grandparents were preachers in the yes.
Is it super strict? Is it like how
No, I
is it?
told
Because
you I
every
did.
listen,
There was balance.
Star,
I started
everybody.
this said that there was balance in my life. Long as we kept God first, you still was
Okay,
able to live your life. I still went to the mall. I still went to parties.
okay,
We still
okay,
did all of these things. It wasn't no you can't go out. No, you just
okay,
like any other black household, be in this house
okay,
before the street lights come on.
okay. Well,
Like so, it wasn't
Star,
that.
everybody
No,
out
we know
there.
some people, religious people, yes. And it also depends on your background and your culture. Just like in Caribbean households,
Okay,
certain things are blasphemous in their households. Different things like that. We are American and we were
okay,
A-okay.
okay.
And
But
the stigma of what
majority.
happens in this house stays in this house. The black, cliches that
Well,
has been and it's breaking those
majority
narratives.
majority of the people out there when they hear church household, they think it's just one way. Especially
I
if
don't
you're
think
not.
so.
I think so because
No, because I've
it's
been
because
around
you're
a whole
from
lot of
that.
people.
It's because you're
No, but
from
I
that.
left the church. I left the church for years.
When you were 18.
I just started going back to church this year.
Okay. Why did you leave the
Like
church?
because I got kicked out of church because I didn't want to go live on I was going to another church at this time, not my grandparents' church. I got kicked out the church because I didn't want to go live while the pastor was having a manic episode. And
What?
from then, yeah,
You
and
got
that was
kicked
what,
out of the
2018.
church?
Mhm.
I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, and so from 2018 to this year, I didn't go to nobody's church. I refused to. I said God will have to come show me the deed himself and tell me that this is his church.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So how
so
you
my
liking
thing
getting
is
back in the church now?
my relationship is with God and not man and not a building.
Okay.
So I go, I like praise and worship. So I go and listen, sing praise and worship, and then I bounce. There's no need for me to stay any longer than what I need to. I keep it pushing, and
Okay,
that's
so you
it.
ain't really
And my
mingling with the
relationship is
people
with
in the church.
my relationship is with me and God.
Okay,
And as long as I
okay,
give him his time, that's all that matter.
okay. So what kind of church you going to now?
Pentecostal. Still
Okay, tell me
Pentecostal.
what. So what is Pentecostal again, so I can make sure I'm picking up
That's
what you
the
putting
black
down.
church. That's the Holy Ghost. That's the hand clapping, foot stomping, tongue talking. You know.
What's the foundational rules of the Pentecostal church?
What our faith, like we believe the Bible to be the holy, infallible word, written word of God. We believe that there is one God, eternally existence in three persons: God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. We believe in
Okay,
the blessed hope, which is the rapture of the church of God, which is in Christ is his return. We believe that the only means of being cleansed from sin is through repentance and faith in the precious blood of Jesus Christ and being baptized in water. So
okay,
that's our statement
okay,
of faith.
okay. I love that. So tell me, because we didn't get to it. What you say you single and you mingling, but how did this come about? Because somebody is charming. The mayor of Queens, very popular class president. How you single?
Because everybody can't handle the capacity of me, right? People think they can
Mm,
until they're in the full bloom of it,
okay, okay.
right? And like I'm an outgoing person. I can't be with somebody that considers themselves to be mean or don't like people, and that's the energy you carry around you
Okay. So
when
are you
I
what's
have
so what is dating like nowadays? Like is it majority of people that are negative? Like are you bumping into more people
no,
that's
I actually just started dating again. I'm really content
mm,
with myself. Like I'm not a person that, oh, I just got out of a relationship, I gotta jump into another one. I
mm,
enjoy myself, my own company,
mm,
and I move by the beat of my own drum. Right?
mm.
And so now I'm like, okay, I can talk to somebody now. I have the capacity to.
Okay.
So,
So
let
before
me
you didn't have the capacity to.
no. I didn't want to have the
And
capacity to. I just wanted to be with myself, right?
and
Because I'm going to school doing double masters, my
okay.
businesses, work, a lot going on, right? And my thing is,
Okay.
oftentimes people want to be in relationships and don't have the time to be in relationships. And that's when
Mm.
unnecessary discord come into play, right? Because you're lacking, because you're not showing up in the capacity that your partner would need you to show up in, right? And I used to be a workaholic. It used to be work, work, work for me. I got to get this money. I got to get this money. But my whole thing is the money going to be there, work going to be there. But if you want to make this work with your partner, then you have to be there,
So do you feel
right?
like that your relationship ending or not working was your fault because you were not showing up?
No, that wasn't the capacity for mine. My thing was is the relationship just wasn't for us. Like two different backgrounds, two different cultures,
Okay.
you know, I don't understand where you're coming from in this capacity. You're not understanding me. You don't want to
Mm.
understand this capacity of me. And
Mm.
I am in the business where I'm not going to keep explaining myself for you to understand who I am. You want to
Mm.
have an attitude because I want to show up for my people in the capacity that I want to show up. Just because you won't do it doesn't mean you should try to stop me from doing it. You can't box me.
Star.
You can't box me. Because then
Ah.
that's where the crash out happens. But because I have so much restraint and self-control and patience and tolerance,
So the
my
crash out
thing
don't
is,
happen.
yeah, so it's like let's just part ways. We could be great friends. We can,
So you
you
ain't
know,
never crashing out. You ain't never crashing out on none of your past. Well,
I'm not
the
going to
last one.
jail. My crash out will leave me in jail. I'm good on that.
Ooh.
I know my capacity. I know me. I've spent years working and developing, personally developing me. So nah, you're not getting me there. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. 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 So so these relationships, do you miss your last relationship?
No,
Okay. 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 So you didn't let that go. You did say you ain't holding on to nothing.
at all. You want to go, go. I want you to go. I'm gonna let you
So
go.
okay. So did she leave or did you leave?
It was a consensual decision.
Okay. Okay. And so any advice, because I find it kind of hard to have I sometimes I get a little confused when people speak so proudly about their healing or their understanding, but then they lack in areas like having companionship. I often I don't
Companionship is a
understand.
choice. You don't have to be in a relationship because
Okay.
you're healed, right? Because there's a
Okay.
lot of unhealed people that are still walking the face of this earth that has not gotten help. And people are very good at putting on facades and masks,
Okay. Okay.
right? So my
Mama
thing
taught
is
you
I'm
that, huh?
very hello. I'm very big on getting to know people. There's no need for us to rush into relationships, half
uh,
assing and knowing each other.
so
Because
how
then
did
you
you get
get into
into a
these
relationship?
relationships,
What I don't
you get into
understand
these
is
relationships and then you start learning new things, right? That's I'm like
okay.
I'm old school.
Okay.
They be
Okay.
saying that what I
Okay.
heard this term the other day and I had to ask what the hell did that mean. Somebody said lesbians they be in U-Haul relationships. I was like, well, what the hell is a U-Haul relationship? Because
Mhm.
I didn't get into a relationship with my last partner until after we dated for over a year and we knew each other for over 4 years.
So
So
now
my
y'all just
thing
ain't
is,
cool no more?
no, we're cool, but we it's just
Okay.
the relationship just didn't work.
Okay.
Right? And it's okay for
So
relationships not to work.
how did you end up dating women?
I've always loved women. Always
So
have.
never
It
dated a
wasn't
man.
no, it wasn't no straddling the fence of, oh, I'm bi. No, no man never laid down and touched me at all. It's not my story.
Wow.
I'm not confused. I'm not curious. I know what I want and who I want.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, so ever since you became um because I know you say you were molested. Sometimes I often want to ask, like, okay, does being molested have something to do with your sexuality?
I'm sorry. Somebody texted me something.
What they say?
I scooped her up the other day. What's
Oh gosh! Oh, oh
what?
God! Is she
What was the
listening?
yes? What? Yo, people are so
Ah!
funny. What?
You
Yo.
went a little bit too long on that X. Let's skip it up. That's probably what she said. You straggling a little too hard on the X. Let's let it go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
No.
kidding. So
What
tell
was the
me,
question?
when did you? I think I said when did you? Have you always liked women from when you could just say like, okay, I'm figuring out my sexuality.
Yeah, I've always loved women. And I
Okay.
knew it since I'm telling you, I have gifts and callings. Um, my discernment is A1.
Okay.
And I knew since I was a little girl that I liked females.
Okay. So did this happen before? Because I know you say you were molested, and I this is what I was asking you.
No, it's not based around the molestation.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No,
Because I
because I
always
think
want
that's
to
dumb
ask
too.
that.
Because I be thinking that's dumb. I be thinking
What
that's
do
dumb
you
with
mean
people.
it's
Oh,
dumb?
I turned lesbian because I was molested. Okay. So
Mm.
is this like a wall? So don't want to deal with men because you think every man is the same because of what one man did to you, or do you are you really into females, right? Because you have these females that get into these lesbian relationships and they're unsure of themselves, right? Because they haven't healed from their childhood experiences where a male did them wrong or did something hurtful to them. Right. And that's why
No.
tell people all the time, take your time and heal. Right. Go through your process. Don't come
Take
into these
your
relationships.
time. What's the
Not
rush?
the rush. Right. So my thing is, in real life, go through your process. Don't come into relationships with unnecessary baggage.
But
Right.
sometimes, man, you can't be all perfect all the time. Sometimes you don't know it's
It's not
baggage until
about
you get there.
being
You
perfect.
kill me. What
No,
you
some
trying to
people
act like
don't.
that?
No,
You,
no, because I ain't perfect. But my
well,
thing
you
is, I
acting
know
like
certain
it.
baggage. That's
Trying to
not
tell
true because
everybody
certain
else.
baggage. No, no,
Oh
no, no,
my
no. Because you got
God.
people that jump
You
from
tough on the
relationship to
hoes. You tough
relationship.
on the hoes. You tough on the hoes, Star.
You
Relax.
have people, I'm not tough on them, but you have females that do not like to be alone, and they jump from one relationship to the next relationship, and because
That
they
is
didn't heal
true.
from what happened in the last relationship, it carries over into this new relationship they're getting
Okay.
into. And
Okay.
then when this new
Okay.
partner, something happens, it triggers, it offsets something, so
But
now the
but
new
but can I
partner
say
has
this?
to
Can I say this?
go
Can I
ahead, Shirley.
interject? Can I
Say it, Shirley.
interject, Barbara? All I'm saying is
You
all,
got it.
all I'm saying is you can't be being too goddamn strict all the damn time. Cause
I'm not
sometimes
strict all the
we
time. I'm
got
telling
to
you, I'm a real
learn.
nonchalant. I'm a real
That's
nonchalant.
what you, duh.
No,
It's
no f's
obvious. It's
given, no
obvious.
f's given type of person in a
It's
relationship. It you show
obvious.
me, you
Where's the
show me that
love?
you ride.
Where's the
You show
love?
me. Hold on. You show me that you ride for me as much as I ride for you, baby. We gonna have a time.
Every
Right?
girl.
Because the way I've stepped 10 toes down for you, you better show me that you can step 10 toes down for me. And if you
Asia.
can't do that, we
Star,
out of here.
how could you ever possibly have those type of boundaries for somebody who didn't come from what you come from? You nigga, you just said that I love so deeply. My grandma embedded it in my soul.
Yes, and
How
that's why
do
you
you
got
expect
that's why
somebody
you
to
take
top
your
that?
time. But that's why you take your time and get to know people and build. That's what I'm saying. It don't
But during
happen
that time,
overnight.
it comes the hurt, it comes the happiness, it comes the because in order to
But the
understand
thing
each other at a
is,
high,
and
no,
you
no.
gonna know your capacity of whether you're willing to go through or not. And it depends on the level and the magnitude of it.
Ah.
Right? Because if you're dealing with somebody and they're
See,
currently in their
you
healing.
expecting. See, this that preacher shit.
No, it's not,
Because
because I ain't no
yes,
preacher. Fuck that
it is.
shit. No,
Nah,
it's not.
nah, nah.
No,
You nigga,
it's not.
you just quoted that pup. How the hell you said? Wait, what are
What?
you again? What is it? What did you say you were?
Pentecostal? Pentecostal
Pentecostal.
Christian?
You, when
Christian
I asked you
Pentecostal?
about that, yes, you quoted that shit back like you wrote the Bible. You
That's something
tough.
that's been my whole life.
That's what I'm
That's been
saying.
our
You
statement
tough.
of faith my entire life.
You
So there's no
tough.
choice but for me to know it. You got people walking around here talking about they Muslim and all this stuff. But like, name me something out of the Quran. What you stand for? Speak to me in
Okay.
Arabic. What you
Okay.
stand like? My thing is know
Okay.
what you stand for. Everybody want to be a
Okay.
part of something, but don't know
Okay.
what they are part of. And that's
Okay.
my whole thing. I
I
ain't gonna
love
be like, oh, I'm
that.
Pentecostal and I don't know. No, no, no. I know my
Yeah.
faith. I know my beliefs. I stand 10
You know
toes on
what?
it.
You know what? And you know what? And as long as you standing on what you own and you ain't confused about it, then you
Period.
good. Then you
Period.
good. then you, because that's the thing, a lot of people don't have morals, and they ain't standing on no solid foundation, and they confused, and they got a lot of confusion just lingering around them. But you know how to identify when the confusion arises, and you are able to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to continue. So you single and you ready to mingle. A lot of people are miserable today because they don't have nothing to stand for. No morals, no.
And
So,
that's the whole thing. Like, what do you stand for? That's one of my main questions. What do you stand for? Who are you?
so who are you without the labels?
That's it. Who am I without? I'm a butterfly, baby. The
I love
metamorphosis of
it.
change.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Perfect conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect
I know,
conversation.
such a pleasure.
Um, I think that's what makes conversations like this important, because when you meet somebody as an adult, we're meeting the finished version of thousands of moments we never witnessed. We don't see the little girl. We don't see the relationship with her mother. We don't see the first time she questioned who she was, the first time she felt misunderstood, the people she loved, or the heartbreak that changed her. We just meet the woman, and sometimes we give her a label. But tonight was about everything underneath those labels. And maybe that's the part of blooming, understanding what shaped you without allowing it to permanently define you. Star! Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
You are
so
so
much.
welcome. And I just want to leave everybody with this. Without the labels, I am just Star Asia. I'm a woman who loves deeply, feels deeply, and continues to grow through everything life has handed me. Before anybody called me a daughter, a lesbian, a leader, an entrepreneur, a friend, or an ex, successful, difficult,
This
strong, or
messy
heartbroken,
or a messy one.
I was simply me. I'm a little girl who wanted to be loved, understood, protected, and seen. Without the labels, I am my heart. I am my values. I am my faith. I am my capacity to love. I am my resilience. I am the lessons I've learned and the choices I make after those lessons. And I think I spent parts of my life trying to live up to labels or trying to prove that someone else's label of me wasn't true. But I'm learning that I don't have to perform an identity for anybody. I can just be. And I'm still
Mm.
becoming. And I'm still
Mm.
discovering parts of myself. I'm still healing parts of that little girl. And I'm realizing that the caterpillar wasn't less valuable because she didn't have her wings yet. So who am I
Mm.
without the labels? I'm just a human being in the process of becoming. And I finally understand that who I am is bigger than anything anybody could ever call me.
Ooh. And if that little girl could sit across from you right now, what would you tell her?
You did your big one.
Ooh. I absolutely adore it, and I hope that all the women listening, or even if it's somebody that has a daughter out there, let her hear this, especially that last part, because it is something that you definitely need to embed in your damn brain. But again, thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much, Star, for being with me tonight. If you want to let everybody know how to find you on social media and kind of let us know what you're working on right now.
Definitely, everyone can find me at LADYMAJIC underscore. That's at Lady Magic with a J underscore. I'm currently working on. I'm a sneakerhead, a well-known sneakerhead. You guys could Google me. I have a lot of sneaker interviews and stuff out there. I have a sneaker company called Sneaker Finds, and then I have a social emotional learning program for students in grades 3 through 12 called Solely Speaking, where they get to tell their story through sneaker design from their soul, their SOLE. So that's who I am, that's what I do, and that's what I'm working on right now. And you guys know how to reach me.
That is so nice. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, always remember, hold on to gratitude. hold on to patience when the gratitude runs low. And again, thank you for listening to The Bloom Effect, Humanity Unfolding. And until next time,